Hello, I'm Dennis Pullin. One of my favorite parts about being president and CEO of Virtua Health is getting to know our colleagues and the many ways they are here for good. Each person contributes to healthy communities, and each person has a story to tell. Let's meet one. So Michele, welcome and thank you for joining me on Here for Good.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, I'm glad. So I usually start these conversations with just a little history about, where you work, how long you've worked. With you, I want to start somewhere else. Okay. When we first met years ago, you told me that you were a mummer. I didn't know then what that was, and I'm not sure even to this day.
Okay.
So for those of us who aren't from this area and somebody might not be familiar, tell me what a mummer is or does or what that's all about.
The Mummers is a long-standing tradition in Philadelphia. It started with a group of people serenading houses to celebrate the new year. And so it's become a, fairly wide-known parade in this area. People travel to Philadelphia on New Year's just to watch this Mummers parade. So what I do, I dress up in different costumes depending on our string band's theme, and I have been dancing now for 27 years.
Tell me a little bit about your journey here at Virtua and how you arrived at your current role.
So in 2012 to 2017, I was the outpatient congestive heart failure clinic. So I'm a Legacy Lourdes employee. And from there, I was asked if I would help kind of restart the structural heart program at the hospital. So at the time, my boss, Lene Ewing, brought me over to the hospital, and then we kind of revamped the health system structural heart program there. And then last year, I actually got a promotion, and I am now the assistant nurse manager of the cath lab at Virtua Our Lady of Lourdes.
Well, congratulations on the promotion. You mentioned Lene, who I happen to know Lene. I heard that you surprised her by showing up to her office in your cap and gown.
So I have been an RN since 2000. And at the time, I went to a diploma program really because I started nursing school pregnant with one child, finished nursing school pregnant with the other, and needed to get right into the workforce. So I spent the bulk of my nursing career as an RN, but under Lene's kind of guidance and mentorship, knew that eventually, I was going to have to further my education. So in 2022, I took advantage of what Virtua was offering with Rowan and their RN to BSN program. And I jumped on board. And so when I was graduating this past May, I decided to surprise Lene because she was my motivation and my inspiration for going back to get my degree.
You have any advice for those that are thinking about it or considering it, but maybe too afraid because of their other life's commitments?
You always have time to rewrite your story. Your story is yours to write. So no matter what path you've started on, it doesn't mean that's the path you have to stay on. I spent the majority of my time with mother being primary job and nurse being secondary, but then knew it was time where I needed to do my thing, and that's why I went back to school. It wasn't easy. My kids are 26 and 23, and if you ask them about me as a student, I am a horrible student.
Join the club. But you're also helping to write other chapters in other books. For instance, I know you are actively involved in the blood drives at Our Lady of Lourdes. What inspired you to want to be a part of that initiative?
If you ask any of my staff, I'm not the strongest clinical nurse in the cath lab by any means. Where I feel like I shine is I want to empower the nurses and be their biggest cheerleader and advocate to help them get to where they want to get to. And I learned that during COVID because I wanted to be the person who was helping take care of the people that were taking care of the people. A lot of the extracurricular stuff that I do, both in my personal life and through Virtua, I feel like is helping me actually help the nurses further and promote themselves. So the blood drives, Our Lady of Lourdes didn't have a blood drive for maybe 2 years, and I jumped on board, and I've just been running it since and love how successful that it's been. both of my kids are military. And, I recently joined Virtua's We Serve community because I wanted to help support the people that are defending our country and supporting us.
And I'm sure participating in the We Serve, colleague community has created special memories or moments, anything that you can share because of the connection with your own family members that are military.
So our latest project is one that I was just amazed to be a part of. We put out over 6,000 flags on the grounds of Virtua Voorhees to represent those people in New Jersey who have lost their lives in battle. And, I put it out just to see if any of my friends wanted to come and help. And the response that I got was just overwhelming. And, talking about the event to people that we work with was just such a moving experience to be a part of, and to be able to just kind of relay what that felt like. It was a really impactful moment for me.
It speaks to a community that steps up when needed, but it also speaks to those who unfortunately lost their lives as a result of trying to protect our way of life. And so I think that's great that you chose to participate in that. And then to add on to that, you are what we call a career ambassador, right, at Virtua. Share with the rest of the folks that are watching this what that means.
I get to talk to those Virtua employees that are interested in careers in nursing. In 25 years of nursing, I have a lot of experience. So I was able to speak, on different parts, just not bedside nursing, but also now an administrative perspective as well.
You mentioned that you were part of the Legacy Lords. We, in July, celebrated our 5th year of coming together as part of the new Virtua and the culture of we. Is there anything that stands out for you as we sort of reflect back on the 5 years?
I admire the fact that the culture is still the same at Lords from the perspective of being a family. What I am most grateful for is the resources that Virtua has to offer to now kind of take that and expand. The wellness initiatives that Virtua has to bring back in the workplace. Our Lady of Lords was and is a family, and we were struggling. We needed some help. Virtua was able to step in and do that and still respect the fact that it is that family-like atmosphere. But let me also tell you what we have to offer, and that's kind of like what Virtua has. And I think my piece of it is being able to see what Virtua has to offer and share that with the employees of Our Lady of Lords that maybe aren't able to get out to all the events, or maybe they don't respond to all the communication. And because I just feel like it's a great opportunity that Virtua has given us.
So what's next for Michele?
Well, I have applied for my master's in nursing, so I am going to continue school. I'm really looking forward to continuing wellness initiatives that Virtua has to bring into the workplace. And you know what? Just see what resource Virtua has coming out, and I'll be like, I want to join that. Let me try that out.
And I think that's great. And that is a trait that I hope, and I do believe many of our colleagues share, in that as we create opportunities, the best thing to do is have people take advantage of those opportunities. And I think you are a poster child for that. And I really do appreciate you taking the time and joining me on Here for Good, the Inside Edition. And I look forward to sharing this with the rest of our organization.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What a great conversation with Michele. And I look forward to sharing it with you. And I look forward to you tuning in for our next episode of Here for Good, the Inside Edition.